Hi, my name's Natalie Heil. I'm a local realtor here in Sarasota, Florida. I'm doing a series on why people relocated here, and I'm here with my brother-in-law today.
Hi guys, I'm Christian.
And I wanted to ask him a few questions on why he moved here and the process of it and his opinions on it. So, Christian, where did you move from?
We moved from San Diego, California to Sarasota, Florida.
And I wanted to get his point of view on he's in his mid-20s, so I just wanted to hear how you like Florida so far, because a lot of the people say it's like a retirement city. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, I feel like a few years ago it was. I feel like it's definitely trending in the right direction of getting a little bit younger. I think there's certain areas that are a lot older, but I think Sarasota is in the right trend of heading younger.
And why did you leave California?
Cost of living, politics, taxes, saving a lot on taxes here.
You have a baby too.
We just had a baby, so able to spend a lot more time with the family, not having to work as hard, and yeah.
And what do you like to do for fun?
Here, fishing's great. The beach is great. A lot better than San Diego. I like the beach in San Diego because I surf, but my wife doesn't, and she doesn't like the cold water there. So here, I mean, it's 85, 90 degrees almost at all times. The coldest it gets is about 70 in the winter at the beach here, so which is like totally doable in a bathing suit or board shorts, no wetsuit needed.
And then if you do surf, you can just go to the other coast.
Yeah, and a few times a year there's surf here. I mean, maybe 3 times a year. If I do want to surf, I can travel or go to the other coast. The amount I'm saving on taxes will more than pay for like a lot of trips anywhere to go surf, so I'm not worried about that right now.
And what's your favorite part of Sarasota? Like, what would you recommend younger people, like what area to live in?
We live in the downtown area, which I like a lot because the walkability is great. There's a lot of coffee shops. Me and my wife and the baby can walk from our house to pretty much all of the good coffee shops in Sarasota. We have the Ringling Bridge up there, which runs across.
The new Bayfront Park.
Yeah, there's the new Bayfront Park that they're working on. There's like movies there every Friday night that you can bring the kids to. Yeah, I like downtown. For families, probably Lakewood Ranch. Really downtown or Lakewood Ranch is what I would recommend. If you're a little bit older and more want like a laid back, maybe Gulfgate or Venice or South Sarasota, anywhere in between South Sarasota and downtown, but depends on what you're looking for really. I'm sure you can help guide people if they have that question, depending on what you guys like to do.
What was like the moving process for you? What did you do?
Moving process for us, this is actually our second time moving here. We moved here in 2018 or whatever it was, and then moved back to San Diego, and then we came back this time. But this time around, we packed a crate and we flew. Packed a pod and flew, which was, I think, the best way to do it. The first time around, we drove a U-Haul, which I would not recommend at all. It's not worth it because you're paying a lot in gas, and it's just a waste of time unless you want to see the country. But yeah, I like to fly and do the pod, and we used Pack Rat, and it was like I think it was like $5,200 from San Diego to here, which is really not that bad.
Huh. Okay. And if you could do it all over again, what would you do differently?
Probably nothing. I think we learned our mistakes on the first move here.
Yeah. Why did you live here before? Why did you come back?
The first time around we lived here, it was a few years ago, and I still felt like it was a little too laid back here for me. I missed surfing, and we had a lot of friends and family in San Diego. After we went back, we realized that after a couple of years of living back in San Diego, we realized that with the baby and stuff, it would just be more aligned to our lifestyle right now to live in a more laid back place. So.
And how is it like meeting like people your age here? Have you met anyone yet? 'Cause you've only lived here for like a week and a half.
Yeah, we've only been here for a few weeks, so we haven't really met anybody. I mean, I'm back. I've joined the F45 gym in downtown Sarasota, which is a great gym. People are really nice there, so I think it's really easy to meet people. I haven't tried yet. We joined a church here called Bayside. We were going to another good church in San Diego, but so all of our friends are at that one. But I'm sure we'll have no problem meeting people.
So Christian, what do you recommend other people in their early or mid 20s? Like, what do you think they like to do here?
If you're in your mid 20s, depending on what you like to do, I mean, I'm not a big partier, but there's like a ton of clubs and bars and stuff. Like the Westin has a really cool rooftop bar. There's also there's another, what's that one downtown with the rooftop?
Artovation.
Artovation has a
Yeah.
really cool rooftop bar. There's good restaurants like Kojo. That's a newer restaurant. Yeah, besides that, I mean, going to the beach, fishing. I know like a lot of people like to skimboard here. I mean, there's all kinds of things to do. It's really endless, and you can go to the other coast to do stuff. There's like aquariums. I mean,
I think the people are friendly here.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, it's a big difference. I mean, here we've owned our house here for a few years. We just moved back into it. We pretty much know all of our neighbors. In San Diego, we only met like 2 of our neighbors after living where we were the last time for a few years. So
I hear that a lot from people.
Yeah, down here, you definitely get smiles and friendly faces talking to you, and actual conversations. Whereas in like California, everyone just seems like they're stressed out all the time, which they probably are because of their finances. And it's just a lot slower paced.
Yeah.
Which I like and don't like in some aspects, but yeah.
And then you mentioned you like coffee shops. What are your top 3 favorite coffee shops?
Coffee shop? Yeah, Sarasota's got great, actually a really good coffee scene. We're really into like the craft coffee shops. Like, I would say in Sarasota, it's like probably one of the best spots in the U.S. honestly to get like a good coffee, like better than San Diego, which is very surprising. I think it's kind of because of the artsy scene here. I would say if I had to pick my top 3, it would be Breaking Wave would be my first one. That's in downtown. Probably Palma Coffee, which is actually down here in Gulf Gate. They just opened recently. They're really good. And then probably Project Coffee after that. That's a good spot as well. And that's downtown as well. There's also really good golfing here if anyone likes to golf. I mean, the golfing scene here is.
Where do you like to golf?
I'm not a big enough golfer to call myself a golfer, but I do golf sometimes.
Have you been to the driving range at Evie's?
Yeah, actually once.
Bee Ridge?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's pretty fun.
I honestly have
It's more
played
like a
golf
bar.
here a bunch, but I don't remember the course names. But they're really nice. And there's Top Golf, like 45 minutes away from here, up in St. Pete and Tampa. I feel like there'll probably be one here eventually.
We have
'cause
Pop
there's so much-
Strokes.
Yeah,
I don't know
Pop
if you've been to
Strokes,
that
which is
yet.
like Top Golf, but mini golf, right?
Yeah.
I haven't been to it yet.
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, UTC Mall's nice. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. Life's easier down here, I would say.
And where do you see yourself in like 5 years from now?
That's a good question.
I didn't prepare you for that.
I don't know about that.
Or where do you see Sarasota 5 years?
Okay, that's an easier question to
Okay.
answer. Sarasota in 5 years. Well, I was just telling my wife the other day. It feels at least when you're in certain areas here, it feels like you're at a resort and like your tax dollars actually go to work. Like in San Diego, you'd see like, I mean, we lived in a really nice beach community called Encinitas, and like every day there was like new graffiti or homeless people. Like, nothing against homeless people, but like they'd be sleeping in front of our house basically. That was just like near the water. And here it's like stuff gets enforced, your tax dollars go to work. Like, there's constantly new projects, like skyscraper cranes being built. Like the neighborhood that we're in right now has like 40 or 50 projects going on, like new builds. It's trending the right direction. I know a lot of cities are not trending the right direction, but this city is trending the right direction. So I think in 5 years this place is going to be, first of all, a great investment to buy a house here. I think anywhere from here, Tampa south, probably a really good investment spot, especially because everyone's dollars are coming from like more expensive places like California and New York, and they don't really care what they pay down here. So that's one thing.
Do you foresee the prices ever going down here?
I'm not a macroeconomist, but here I don't see them coming down too much, to be honest. I think there's just too much demand. Thankfully, we bought a couple properties when we did 2019 and 2020. We're kind of waiting to buy another property, but I don't know. I don't know if the prices will come down much more than they are right now. Interest rates will probably come down, but you could always refi later.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And what do you do like work-wise here? Do you work remotely?
I just work remotely. Yeah, I do stock options trading, so it's all from home. Sit at the house and hang with the baby and the wife and trade stock options all day.
That's the life.
Yeah, so I haven't looked into work here, but I know the banking industry is big. Virtually every
The healthcare
restaurant's hiring.
industry.
Yeah, healthcare industry is huge here. Architecture's huge here. Construction's really like any service industry or like, I mean, you could come here and like start a pressure washing business or like a painting business or really any business and probably make six figures your first year just because the demand is so great.
As long as you follow up with people.
Yeah, as long as you follow up with people. The one thing I will mention about Sarasota is that it's hard to get people to come. I think it's not so much anymore, but it used to be where it was really hard to get anybody to do work at your house because it was like the cost of living was so cheap here that people didn't really need to work, and it was like you try to get a hold of them and they're like out on the boat fishing or they're at the beach, and it's like they finally follow up with you when they need some boat gas money. But I feel like that's not really the case anymore because it's gotten a little more expensive here. But there's still a lot of demand. Like if you try to get anything done, there's definitely a lot of demand. So I would highly recommend, if you don't know what you're going to do down here, there's high demand for really any type of job: fencing, roofing, electrical, pressure washing. I mean, literally anything. Handyman services, like tree cutting's huge down here. Anything really.
Yeah.
I mean, the population's growing, so the demand is just going berserk.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, I would say Sarasota is a great place to live. We've kind of seen all the cities in Florida, and I would say Sarasota is one of the nicer ones. I like here, Venice, Jupiter. We tried Tampa. Tampa's a younger but a little too much like, not trashy, but certain areas where, I don't know, not as nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like your tax dollars go to work as much as here.
What do you think about St. Pete? Because a lot of people want to
St. Pete's
choose
nice. Yeah,
between
St.
the
Pete's
two.
good. I don't know enough about it but I think it's more of like a partying, younger scene. I don't know. I'm not really into that. So, but I think if you are, St. Pete's a great area.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I've been there a few times, and it seems like a lot of college-aged people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not really for me personally. But
Yeah, different stages of life. If it's for you, St. Pete's a great area.
Yeah.
I think it's a great investing area.
Yeah, for sure.
And they have like a lot of tech. I know there's a lot of tech hubs moving to what I mean to say is St. Pete's like in the direction of heading into being a tech hub.
Huh.
So.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps it up. If you're looking to relocate to Sarasota, Florida, my name's Natalie. I'm a realtor here, and my brother-in-law, Christian. If you ever need to know anything about solar or
Stock options.
If
you have any questions, I'm happy to help. Not a pro, but I try.